Halo is a movement shooter. The community has been arguing once again on Twitter. Halo is not a movement shooter. Halo is a movement shooter. Should these things be allowed in Halo? Is this what ruined Halo? And honestly, it just added fuel to the fire from the burning passion to make this video and how much I enjoy movement in Halo and always have. I guess to get things started, we should first kind of just quickly cover the base of what is a movement shooter. A shooter game where you have a high degree of control over how your character moves around the world. Now, obviously, Halo has a lot of these kind of features, right? We have sprinting, we have sliding, we also have equipment that, improves movement if you use the repulsor in certain ways, or maybe even the grapple hook. And the community has been finding even more advanced movement. Now we have wall kicks, we have double jumping, we have herb sliding, we have input sliding, we have grapple sliding, we have pressure launching still. I mean, shit, even super bouncing made a return in Season 4. Now, a lot of people believe that it is a glitch, but in the recent update, 343 has chosen not to patch it out, and I honestly really commend them for that choice. You see, the thing with movement in a first-person shooter is it adds another layer of depth, skill, and player expression to how you can take these engagements in firefights. I guess I would even be willing to argue that the old Halos also had movement. We even had pressure launching and super bouncing in old Halo titles. But a lot of people forget that, even Halo 3 had a fair amount of movement for being so boots on the ground, quote unquote. Think of geo-bouncing or nade jumping or any other kind of explosion that, would send you flying with the physics, more or less. In a lot of these cases, you can be rewarded for good movement and superior positioning. So I would almost argue that Halo Infinite is a positioning and movement FPS because you're rewarded for the good movement and because you're rewarded for superior positioning. You can do one or the other. You can play old school Halo. No one is forcing you to use sprint if you don't like sprint. And in a lot of cases, you're better off because your weapon is up and ready to shoot, that millisecond quicker than someone who's sprinting around or sliding around on the map. You can give yourself an advantage by playing that superior positioning. But with all the movement tech in Halo, you are also rewarded for faster engagements and/or confusing your opponent. Titanfall isn't the only game with movement. Halo was built upon the ever-present feeling of jumping and shooting. Maps were built with this in mind and have become a signature Halo element, making for creative play in any form. Let's stop building this narrative that jumps are the demon of Halo, or movement in general, because I honestly do believe it's always been there in one way, shape, or form. There's so many things to enjoy about movement in Halo. I just don't understand why people want a Halo CE level of movement in a video game. I mean, honestly, whenever I go back to play Halo 3, which keep in mind, I do still believe is the best video game that was ever created, hands down. All nostalgia aside, it rightfully deserves that place, at least in my heart. It's just insane that people want to go back to that kind of slow movement. And look, if you really do enjoy classic Halo, right? If you enjoy that kind of classic kind of Halo feel, you enjoy the, floatier jumps, the no sprint, this, that, the other thing, well then let me tell you about a little thing known as the CHL. That's right, the Classic Halo League. Now, one of my friends, Unique, have been going through and recreating old Bungie maps one-to-one and setting up different kinds of scripts and game modes to almost seamlessly replicate how Halo 3 used to play, but in Halo Infinite. I truly do think that that is a really good thing. If you want to play Classic Halo and you want to be in the most recent game, if you want to be playing Halo Infinite, you enjoy many aspects of Halo Infinite, but you wish it had these things, well, now we have the CHL. And you yourself can go sign up, play games, do scrims, and even compete in some of the tournaments that they have been hosting. Win some prize money. Much like the SWAT Nation, people who only enjoy SWAT in Halo because they don't enjoy using the entire sandbox, they don't enjoy high TTKs, they don't enjoy that core Halo gameplay, but they still love Halo, they still love a part of Halo. You too can enjoy classic Halo in a modern Halo title. Now, this is another reason, just going to lightly bring this up. I do believe CHL should be made into a matchmaking playlist. I think there should be a classic Halo League, in matchmaking, so people can truly just not have many reasons to complain anymore. Much like how we have SWAT in matchmaking and always have, I think CHL should also be there. Shit, would be insane. Maybe even a ranked CHL playlist. That would be, I mean, I'm sure a ton of people would really enjoy that. All these people that I see getting up in arms on Twitter that Halo is not a movement shooter and this and that. Well, it is completely nerfed in the CHL, and you can still enjoy Infinite and that classic movement that you have come to totally enjoy over anything else, right? Now back onto the topic of, is Halo a movement shooter? There's a certain level of risk when performing skilled movement, so don't get all worried that this is ruining Halo. Honestly, in my opinion and many others, this is something that increases the skill gap. You can outplay someone with movement, but playing it safe and strategically, holding your ground, getting that better positioning, and playing very tactically could mean you have an easier time out BRing somebody. You can still get the one-up in many of these scenarios. You know, someone who's flying towards you with a curb slide, you know, that's either gonna throw your aim off, or perhaps the person who's, you know, moving 5 times faster than you are. You know, it could result in nobody landing a shot, and if your aim is still good enough, you're gonna out-BR them anyways. So yes, I like to think it goes both ways. You could throw somebody's aim off by flying past them and, you know, totally breaking their ankles and getting the one-up because you're all of a sudden behind them and you're getting an extra BR burst in versus their shots. Regardless, I think all of this kind of movement tech that's been discovered, all the things that we really enjoy in Halo, all of these things are really present. And honestly, I do not believe, and I will never believe the narrative that the reason why Halo isn't popular is because they didn't stick to their guns, because they didn't, you know, they didn't pull a Counter-Strike and keep the same movement from 2007. You know, I do believe if a game innovates in the right way, it's not a bad thing. It's not like they're stealing from other franchises. I'm so sick of people saying like, go play Titanfall. Like, half the time you can't go play Titanfall. Why would you? I want to play Halo. And as someone who has been playing this game on and off for 18 years, started in Halo 2, absolutely adore Halo 3. ODST was a banger spin-off. Reach was pretty damn good. Multiplayer aside, I do believe Halo 3 had a better one, but regardless, that game even had, you know, advanced movement techniques. And even into 343's modern, you know, shooters. Maybe Halo 4 and 5 weren't that good, but I do believe that when Infinite gets its full multiplayer suite, when we get every feature in the game working properly and seamlessly, desync and servers are fixed, that Halo Infinite will be the best Halo game we've ever had. What's going on, Spartans? I just wanted to pop in at the very end here. Obviously, this is like a couple days after recording this and getting the video all edited and everything else, but I really enjoyed making this video, and if this is the kind of Halo content you would like to see, trying to shed a light on some topics. I'm always doing discussion videos, so if that sounds interesting to you, maybe consider subscribing to the channel. And I would love to hear about your thoughts down in the comment section. Like, do you think Halo is better off without it? Do you think this is fine? Do you think I covered all the bases? Do you enjoy movement in Halo? And well, yeah, that's pretty much the video for today. Feel free to check out my other Halo videos, and we should have another video out in the works soon, so I will catch you guys in the next one.